Good evening. How is everybody today? I don't think I need this. You guys can hear me, right? All right. Welcome to the Chaldean Community Foundation. I know we've seen many of you before. Thank you for coming. Today we're going to be discussing a very important topic, the upcoming U.S. Census, and why we should all take part of it and why we should all be counted. And so before I get into my remarks, I want to welcome our special guest today. I think many of you know, in the middle sitting there is the mayor of Sterling Heights, Mr. Michael Taylor. Let's give him a round of applause. The mayor has been a phenomenal partner to our organization. He's been here too many times. Sometimes good, sometimes bad, but mostly good. Yeah, all good. And then he was here recently in celebrating our new Americans for National Citizenship Day, and he's also been very supportive of our expansion. As you can see, we're adding almost 20,000 square feet to the facility, and we're thankful for the partnership with the city of Sterling Heights. One other quick item with the city is later this year we'll be breaking ground on a new housing development, new apartment complex over at Utica and Van Dyke. I can tell you where it's at now, so you can buy the property. And we're really excited about it. Next to the mayor, I think we all know the police chief, Chief Dwojakowski from the city of Sterling Heights. Wonderful man. One of the finest chiefs in all of the country, one of the safest cities in all of the country. And we have an excellent partnership. The Corps officer from the city is often here visiting with the Chaldean Community Foundation, giving us some wonderful advice, but also just being great and welcoming to our wonderful large community here. We've also had some career fairs with them. I think we have another one coming up soon. So if you know anybody that wants to be a police officer, there's no better place than to work in the Sterling Heights, right? Say it loud. That's right. Okay. Also with us is John Paul Rea, the Deputy County Executive. I've known JP for quite some time.
A few years now.
They've been extremely helpful to us here at the foundation, also with our housing development, but many of our programs here, and really instrumental in getting the word out to make sure that we're all counted for the upcoming census. So let's give JP a round of applause. I know we have the Macomb County Clerk's Office here that's registering people to vote. We appreciate that. Thank you for coming. And Christine Davis from the U.S. Census Bureau is here to help people. Hello, Christine. Thank you. Obviously, we want to acknowledge Sterling B. Counted there. Give Sterling B. a big round of applause. Wonderful addition. And so why are we all here? Why is this so important? I've been to many of these functions throughout the county, but Michigan is hopefully growing. And a lot of that has to do with new immigrants, new communities, and Sterling Heights specifically has had a large influx of new Americans. So we want to celebrate all the new people that have moved to this area, and also more importantly, make sure Sterling Heights now becomes the third largest city in the state of Michigan because of people like you, fingers crossed, right, Mayor?
Absolutely.
Okay, so a couple other guests I want to acknowledge. I see Jonathan Francis in the back, who's representing the Chaldean Catholic Diocese and the Bishop's Office. So Jonathan, thank you for coming. We appreciate it. Okay, couple things we're going to do today, and items that we're going to cover is the importance of why we should all participate in the survey, right? We're going to have some Q&A. Is it safe? Should we be fearful of the government? What if I'm getting deported? I mean, you can ask anything you want. This is a safe environment, and we're going to touch on all of those. We're also going to talk about what the census survey looks like, why you should fill out the questionnaire, what the questions might be, and if you have any questions about it, security, privacy. And then for our community, the Chaldean community specifically, it's extremely important because in 2010 there was a survey. The U.S. Census came out and said there was about 44 to 45,000 Chaldean Iraqis in the state of Michigan. We knew that that was a low number. And so we hired the University of Michigan, Dearborn, and Data Driven Detroit, and did our own survey. And with the help of the Chaldean Catholic Church, we came back and we got a number that says there's 160,000 members of our community. So that's a much bigger number, right? A lot of that, 4 times. A lot of that can be attributed to some of the influx of new immigrants, right? People moving into Macomb County, people who have made Michigan their home. Other part of that is maybe not everybody filled out the survey, or they didn't know what to put on the survey, right? I don't know, am I white? Am I brown? What am I, right? If the Chaldean is not one of the option, or Assyrian or Syriac, what should I put on there? Or Arab, how should I fill out the form? So we're gonna help you get through all of that today, and if you have any specific questions, again, we're gonna talk about that. There shouldn't be any fear. I mean, the U.S. government can't do anything with this information. They're not going to take it and use it against you. They're not going to be compiling data to use against us. And then we've had a lot of efforts from our own organization and the community. As you know, the church has been very instrumental. They're going to be making announcements about how important it is to fill out the survey. We have a wonderful staff here. If you have any questions, regardless of your background, race, ethnicity, everyone is welcome here. I want to acknowledge Stacy Bahri, who's just walking out. Stacy and her team are leading all of our outreach. Let's give Stacy and her team a wonderful round. And so we have Stacy and their team doing great work just to make sure that everybody understands. So we're visiting local schools, we're working with local municipalities, we're talking to many apartments, senior homes, about how important it is to fill out the census. We're going to give you some additional information shortly about how to fill out the census. I also want you to know that we have a takeaway sheet here that, Stacy, everybody could get one of these? Really quick, Census Day is April 1st. A lot of great stuff in here. What is the census? Why should I be counted? How does it impact me? Forget the fact that we're Chaldean or any unique ethnic group. The census is important for all Americans. It helps determine how much money we get from the federal government, whether it's paying for roads or schools or many projects in and around where you live. And so that's why all of us, it's very important that we fill out the census. It talks about the resources that will be coming to this state. We have it for you guys to take with you. It's in English and in Arabic. And then if you need assistance filling out the form and you don't understand English, there's a translation that's available. You could go online. Arabic is one of the options. There's also many other resources to you, including information about the organization that can help you. So these questions are: when is the census? Who will it be counted? How do I respond? When will I receive the questionnaire? Why is it important? And then some specific things so that no one takes advantage of you. The census will not ask you for your social security number, citizenship status, bank information, income level, or anything along those lines. When filling out the census, we ask that you check who are you, besides filling out the information about your family. We ask that you check out that you're white, and then you could fill in Chaldean, Assyrian, or Syriac, or whatever ethnicity that you refer to yourself as. Even if you don't fill that out and you check off white or you check off something else and you still fill in Chaldean, Assyrian, or Syriac, it'll still allow you to be counted as such, okay? So, right, that's why you could fill in. You could fill it in. It gives you that option, other, okay? Yeah, okay. So, I think I've spoken long enough. I want to bring up first and foremost the understanding of the census, what it means to Sterling Heights. So please join me in welcoming Mayor Michael Taylor.
I know, it's okay. Thank you, Martin, and thank you all for being here. And that'll help with the. We waited for Martin to stop talking. Easier to zone him out that way with the wind blowing. I feel at home here at the Chaldean Community Foundation because of the reception I always get from Chaldean residents and members of our community. So first and foremost, I want to thank you for that, and thank you for being accepting of me. And I do as much as I can to learn about your community so that we can help provide better services at the city. I know our police department is doing that, our fire department. And if there's anything that we can do to better serve the Chaldean community, I want to take this opportunity to let you know that we're happy to help. We'll meet you here. We'll meet you wherever you are. I'll meet you personally for a cup of coffee, maybe even a hookah, wherever you want to go. I'm happy to do it and learn more about what we can do to make life better for Chaldeans here in the city of Sterling Heights. One thing I ask of you is that when the census form comes to you in the next couple weeks, we believe it's going to be coming, I think they said March 12th or 13th, something like that. You're going to get a letter in the mail that's going to be addressed to you or whoever the head of the household is. And it's important that everybody in your household is counted on that. Not just the head of the household, if it's a husband and wife living there with kids, not just husband and wife, kids, if there's grandkids, if there's nieces and nephews, if there's uncles, everybody living in your house should be counted on that census. And it's very important. As Martin was saying, we know that there is a very big Chaldean population in the city of Sterling Heights. Perhaps one of the largest Chaldean populations in all of the United States. And I would be incredibly proud to know that I'm the mayor serving the largest Chaldean population in the entire United States. And so I think it would be a proud thing for our Chaldean residents in the city of Sterling Heights to know that they're living the largest settlement of Chaldeans outside of Iraq. So to me, it's about pride. It's about showing that this is something that we identify our city by. It's not something that I want to shy away from. I want people to know that here in the city of Sterling Heights, we have a large Chaldean population. They're here. They're proud to be here. And we as a city are proud to have you here. So this is our opportunity for all residents of the United States of America, regardless of where you were born, regardless of your immigration status, regardless of how long you've been here. 2020 is the census year. We do it every 10 years in the United States. And so we're lucky to be here at this moment right now where we can all say, as of April 1st, that Sterling Heights is our home. Or if you are here from another community, I encourage you to make sure you fill out the census in wherever your home is. Because we know that it's not just residents in Sterling Heights, but it's throughout the entire Metro Detroit. We have Chaldean residents in Warren and in Troy and in Sterling Heights and in Shelby Township and over on the west side in West Bloomfield and all those cities. So we want to make sure that you guys, as a Chaldean community, show the political strength and the political might that you have. And the way you do it is by showing that there's strength in numbers. So as Martin was saying, when the survey came back before and it only showed 40,000, we know that's not right. So we want to encourage you to get out and do that, because the more we can show that the Chaldean population is here in the city of Sterling Heights, the more resources we're going to get, the more federal money we're going to get, and the more federal apportionment we're going to get for our representation. So for each person who doesn't fill out the census, we lose about $1,800 per person per year. So over the next 10 years, that's $18,000. Now, I wish I could say if you fill out your census, you're going to get that $1,800. But that's not technically how it works. But that's money that comes into our community through things like federal funding for road work. Okay, we all want our roads to be improved. For programs for job training assistance, programs like English as a second language, programs that the Chaldean Community Foundation supports here. So that's money, money for childhood health programs, nutrition programs. The list goes on and on and on. So those are services that we're all entitled to. And the bigger our count is here in Sterling Heights, in Macomb County, in the state of Michigan, the more money that we're going to be able to collect and retain here in the state of Michigan. For too long, we've been a donor state, giving money away. Okay? So it's so important that everybody is counted to keep that money here in the state of Michigan and retain it here. It's, like I said, for me, it comes down to pride. I'm really proud to be your mayor. I'm proud to be the mayor of the city of Sterling Heights. One thing that we have that's kind of on the line is our standing in the state of Michigan. So right now, Sterling Heights is the 4th largest city in the state of Michigan. And I have a feeling that if we get a full and accurate count, we're going to go up to the 3rd largest city in the state of Michigan. And I'm going to be completely honest, we cannot do that without the Chaldean population. Taking this census, filling it out completely and accurately, and returning it. Because again, it's not just our standing in this state. That's cool to say we're the 3rd largest city. What's more important to me is saying that the Chaldean population came and made this the third largest city in the state of Michigan. That we are the third largest city in the state of Michigan because of the Chaldean population that we have here, because of the diversity that we have here. So that's to me is what's more important, is saying that you are here, you're welcome here, this is your home, you should be counted here, because they're going to be counted in other places. Everybody's going to see if their phone's on now. Right. So I just want to, again, thank you for the opportunity to be here and speak with you. I was with Stacy a couple days ago. I think it was it Tuesday or yesterday, whenever it was. I did a podcast, the Keeping Up with the Chaldeans podcast. And so if you guys are familiar with that, go check it out. There's some very valuable information on there. I'm going to leave you with one other thing. There are a number of other forums like this. So if you could do me a favor, encourage your friends, encourage your neighbors, encourage your loved ones, if they have questions about this, to get out to one of our other forums. We have them throughout the month of March. There's ones on March 24th, April 1st, April 7th, April 9th. We will share this with the Chaldean Community Foundation, and if you want to know our schedule, please reach out to the Community Foundation. Reach out to the City of Sterling Heights. You can call us if you have any questions, if you need help filling out your census form. You can come to our library. You can come to our senior center. You can come to one of these events at our new community center and our senior center. We're going to be holding an event on Thursday, March 19th at St. Blaise Catholic Church, where we're going to, I believe, have Arabic-speaking interpreters that can help you if you have any questions about it. You may have, by that time, already have gotten the census in the mail. So we're putting all of our emphasis behind this. We all want you to be counted. We all want to keep that money here. We want to show who we are here in the city of Sterling Heights. So thank you so much. I appreciate the opportunity to talk. I'm going to turn it over, I think, to our police chief right now, Chief Dale Dwojakowski. Chief Dwojakowski has been working hand in hand with the Chaldean community to make sure that we are delivering our police services in a way that you guys expect and that is respectful of our Chaldean community. I think he's done a lot of great work making inroads with the Chaldean community. We always love being hosted here. I was here on my birthday even, Martin. Remember that? Martin and I were, it was a weekend, and we're walking around before the dirt was even moved here. I really, like I said, I feel at home here, and I'm thankful for that. A lot of you probably have questions. Where's this information going to go? And can I trust that the census information that I provide is going to be protected? And I promise you it will be. And so for more information on that, I'm going to welcome up our Police Chief Dale Dwojakowski.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's hard act to follow. Mayor Taylor is such a great speaker and such a great person for our community, and he really does. He bleeds Sterling Heights. Oh,
I'm going to see if anyone needs, she's going to give a 2-minute summary, and you want to, anybody, عربي له صورة؟
واضحة كل شيء إذا تحبون ترجمة أقدر أختصرها بس مو كل شيء لأنه إذا ساعة كان يصير 4 ساعات بس شغلات المهمة. كم واحد يريد ترجمة؟ أوكي راح just 2 minutes.
Okay.
طبعا هاليوم ندوتنا على مود الاستعداد السكان العام. هذا التعداد اللي يصير كل 10 سنوات. دا يوضحوا لكم يا إنه الشغلة كلش مهمة ولمصلحتنا إحنا وبالنسبة لنا كم اللي عايشين هي طبعا للكل بس إحنا مدينة ستيرلينغ هايتس دا يقولون إنه لازم كل واحد يعني يملي الاستمارة ويكتب عدد أفراد العائلة بالضبط يعني الكل طفل أو كبير إذا كان متجنس أو غير متجنس شغلة ضرورية كلش مهمة والفوائد بعدين نشرح لكم إياها.
I think I said more than that.
Yeah.
I said 2 minutes.
That was great.
I don't want to 2 hours. 4 hours.
As Mayor Taylor said, I was born and raised in Sterling Heights. This is my home by Rogers Roost Restaurant there on Shaner Road. My parents built the house in the 1960s when there was nothing here in Sterling Heights. It was farmland. And there was German, Italian, and Polish people. That's who lived in Sterling Heights. For many, many years, that's what Sterling Heights was. And then the Chaldeans came. And the Chaldeans came and they took over businesses, restaurants, you name the job, the business, Chaldeans are everywhere. It is the future of Sterling Heights. So here I am, a Polish kid that was born and raised here, to see what's happened to Sterling Heights, and I couldn't be any prouder. I've been pseudo-adopted by Martin and the Chaldean Foundation. I'm well aware that this is the future of Sterling Heights. One of our fastest growing populations is our Chaldean community. And as the police chief, I know that I have to have Chaldeans on the police department, Arabic speaking officers, and I've done that. I've hired multiple Chaldean police officers since I've been the chief, about 3 years since I've been the chief. And we've done recruiting events right here, trying to find more future Sterling Heights law enforcement officers. I brought in the FBI, the Michigan State Police, trying to get Chaldeans into law enforcement in general. It's not your typical field, right? Chaldeans own their own business. They're entrepreneurs. They do their own thing. They don't work for the government, but we're changing that. And we have Chaldeans that work for the government, and they're awesome. Lamar Kashat, one of our Chaldean officers, probably our #1 police officer in the entire police department. Chaldean, speaks Arabic. The guy is A+. He's unbelievable. So as police chief, I'm going to keep on recruiting. We have a recruiting event coming up here. We're going to try to get more Chaldeans on the police department, because we believe in the police department, I believe, that you're more legitimate when you represent everyone that lives in the community. And that's females, it's African American, it's Chaldean, it's Hispanic. But it's difficult. It's difficult to get them to even apply. So we try and we try and we try. So if you know anyone in your family, any younger people, tell them Sterling Heights, we pay really well. Thank you, Mayor Taylor. We still have pensions, and it's a great job. You get hired, you work for 25 years, and you can retire. You have health care. You can raise a family. It's really a great, secure job. But with that being said, the census, this is another big moment for us. We might become the 3rd largest city, which I can't believe, Sterling Heights. When I tell people that, they say, Sterling Heights, the 3rd largest city? I'm like, yeah, it used to be Detroit, Grand Rapids, and then Warren. We might surpass Warren, so Detroit, Grand Rapids, Sterling Heights. I can't believe it. Sterling Heights has come leaps and bounds over the decades, and we really are an unbelievable place to live. And if you haven't seen our new community center, our new parks, the stuff that we've done in the city is fantastic to keep people here, families, kids, and people are moving in. Real estate sells like that. It's a great place to live, low taxes, super safe community. We are one of the safest communities in the United States. With over 100,000 people, a big city. So Sterling Heights is a big city with over 100,000. We have some of the lowest crime rates in the entire United States, which is pretty amazing. That speaks to what we are here in Sterling Heights and what we do in Sterling Heights. But the importance of the census is you have to be represented. Like Mayor Taylor said, if we go uncounted, we lose money. We lose money for schools, hospitals, road projects. So every single person that doesn't submit that census information, we lose out. So here's the next problem. I know in the Chaldean community, sometimes when Chaldeans see me in uniform, they drive the other way. They do. I just went to Ishtar here for a quick meal before here. So I'm like, I'm going to go to Ishtar to get a sandwich. So I walk into Ishtar, the entire restaurant stops, and everyone stares at me, and I just kind of looked at the entire restaurant. It's just natural. So it is what it is. But so I can understand the nervousness when you say, well, if I fill out the census, they're going to come and deport my cousin or my uncle who lives in our house who's not a legal resident. That is not true. It is against the law. The census cannot give your information to anybody. They'll be charged with a crime. Even if I went to the census and say, I need to know who lives at this address, cannot get it. If I got a court order, would not get it. If the FBI wanted to know the names of the people living in your house, they cannot get it. They can't get it. So that's why you have to completely fill out that census with the right material, the right information. Law enforcement cannot get it even with a warrant. We cannot find out who lives in your house. And as you know, the president was trying to get a question on the census about whether or not you're a legal resident of the United States. That is not going to be on the census. But we cannot, in law enforcement, ask who lives in that house. It cannot be given to law enforcement. So tell your neighbors, tell your family, it's okay to complete that. Not only okay, you should be doing it if you want Sterling Heights to have that funding and to become, like I said, even a greater city than we already are. And that comes through federal dollars and programs that we rely on the census for. Any questions before I sit down? We do questions at the end. I said, okay. Yeah.
راح أحكي مختصرة. طبعا عندنا مدير شرطة مدينة ستيرلينغ هايتس
Dwojakowski, yes.
Dwojakowski أساسا. هو المدير مع شرطة مدينة ستيرلينغ هايتس في المدينة. طبعا بالبداية بدي أقول أنا كلش فرحان بهاي المدينة من بداية هنا. المدينة تتوسع والسكنة بها يصيرون أكثر خاصة بالنسبة للكالديان. بالبداية حكى إنه دا يريد يشجع أولادكم إنه يدخلون بهذا المجال، مجال الشرطة، لكون المدينة صارت الأغلبية من جماعة مو بس الكالديان طبعا، خلينا نقول الميدل إيست الشرقيين الموجودين هنا، فيحتاجون أن يكونون شرطة من جماعتنا. هاي واحدة. اثنين دا يحكي على بالنسبة لتعداد السكان. دا يقول أنا دا أجي هنا للرستوران دا يشوفوني كلهم يندارون يخافون. إحنا شيء طبيعي حالنا حالكم مو مخيفين. بالنسبة للتعداد نفس الشيء. تجون تملون الاستمارة بشكل كامل ودقيق، لا تخافون. إحنا ما راح نقدمها للإميجريشن دائرة الهجرة، ما لنا علاقة بأي شيء، تكتبوها مثل ما هي. وحتى اللي شغلات اللي كتبوها بس مجرد هو للعد فقط، يعني يكون عددكم، لأنه إذا ما تثبت وجودك كل شخص راح يخسر تقريبا 1080,000 وما قالها بس أعرفها بالسنة. لازم الكل ينعد حتى ناخذ حقوقنا. بالنسبة للحقوق شنو هي؟ مثل ما قلت قبل شوية أكو بيها فوائد هواية، من ضمنها بالنسبة عندنا للصحة، بالنسبة للمدارس، في كل الأحوال أي تقدم أي تطور يصير بهذا البلد إذا أنت يعني تعد نفسك أو تثبت وجودك راح تكون خسارة لهذه المدينة. إذا عدينا احنا 100,000 وعدينا 50,000 راح يعطونا فلوس على قد 50,000. طبعا هذا التمويل الفدرالي الحكومي اللي يجي كل 10 سنوات.
I got it. Yeah, awesome. All righty. Good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. When Martin reached out and gave us the opportunity on behalf of Macomb County Executive Mark Hackle to be here, we absolutely jumped at it. The funny thing is, as Martin said, the first time I ever had the pleasure of meeting Martin, it was actually across the street in the first office and everything over there. And the reason why I love the Chaldean community so much is we had a meeting where we were looking at a couple different properties, some ideas that some members of the community had. So the meeting started around like 11:15. So we wrapped up a little bit after 12:30. So I say goodbye, I say it's a pleasure to meet you. He goes, where are you going? I go, what do you mean? He goes, we got to go have lunch. So 2 hours later, I was on my way back to the office. So I was like, anytime Martin wants to meet her on lunchtime is good with me. But it is an absolute pleasure not only to be here and continually be welcomed by your community, but to be a part of a county government that wants to welcome and support immigration to the highest order. 1 in 9 county residents is foreign born. And when you think of Macomb County historically, that usually wasn't the case. But as that profile continues to grow, we want to ensure that our community can be representative of all the people that are not only represented in this room, but throughout the 880,000 residents that live in Macomb County. The census is absolutely critical to ensure that we have the necessary resources to service your community, your friends, your family, the people you see every single day, and ensure that this place is a welcoming place for everyone. And as Mayor Taylor highlighted, with the critical resources that will come in to our community and everything from early childhood development to senior care to ensure that our roads remain to the highest condition, to ensure that we have award-winning schools and all the other services affiliated with that. That's why the census matters. That's why you will continually see us around this community espousing the necessity of all of us to stand up, be counted, and be a part of this. Within the next week, you will start seeing mailers. So what you might think is someone to try to sell you maybe some insurance, or maybe you got to sift through the coupons you get from Dream Market and everything. You're going to have to figure out and look what that piece of paper looks like. It's 9 questions. 9 questions that are just going to get us the basic information of the individuals that are part of our community, and we need you to be a voice. Because if our voice is heard, we're not only going to be able to ensure that we get our fair share, but so individuals know that there is a special growing population, as Mayor Taylor highlighted here in the Chaldean population, where we know that is not only transforming our community, but is making it for the better. It is your community that is investing in key commercial areas and bringing new businesses into our community. It is your community that is reviving our schools. It is your community that is making our neighborhoods safer and stronger. And we cannot thank you enough for the commitment that you've had to our community. And for that, you all deserve a round of applause. One other thing that I also want to give a shout out to is our friends from the clerk's office. Fred Miller, our clerk, has done an absolute masterful job, not only helping dispel any rumors affiliated with the census and also voting. It's something that's absolutely critical. So if you or anyone in your family needs anyone, please go see my friend Antonisha over here and she'll be able to get you any information that you need on that front. It is an honor to be here. We're here to answer any questions that you may have. And again, keep an eye out for those mailers that are going to be coming in next week. So thank you so very much for the opportunity.
السيد جان بول طبعا هو نائب رئيس مديرية مقاطعة ماكوم، نائب رئيس تنفيذي مقاطعة ماكوم. طبعا نفس الحكي ده يحكي هو على بالنسبة لتعداد السكان، انه اذا تجيكم اوراق غير اوراق التعداد هي شغلات احتمال تكون مو يعني حقيقية. تعداد السكان راح تكون 9 أسئلة فقط. هذه الأسئلة كلش بسيطة، يعني ما هو سؤال راح أذكرها يعني على مثلا على التقاعد مالتك أو السوشيال سيكيورتي مالتك أو أنت متجنس، بس 9 أسئلة على نفسك أنت. هذه الأسئلة راح تكون سرية كلش، حتى إذا أسئلة بسيطة ما حد راح يشوفها. وطبعا قبل شوية قالها كلهم قالوا انه اذا حتى هالاسئله الحكي الجواب اللي جاوبته ينكشف راح تعتبر جريمه طبعا، لانه ما يصير، راح يكون سريه كلش. ف9 اسئله فقط مو اكثر، واسئله بسيطه وبدائيه ما لها علاقه باي شيء ثاني.
ترك ماكم؟
ترك؟ No, they said we don't have to answer all 9 questions.
Okay. Well, that's a good segue. If you have any questions, we're happy to take them.
You said there is an application, or you will send these questions, 9 questions, to our address, or how can we get, or how can we make this survey about the census?
Sure, good question. Who's going to take
I can hop in and start. So pretty much what's going to start happening on March the 12th is the Census Bureau will start distributing information via mail. You will get informational flyers that will give you 3 ways in which to respond to the census. The first is which by mail. You will get the full form in your mail and you can fill it out with pencil, paper, and send it on back to the census. The other way is you can also do it by phone. So they will provide information in which you can dial in and do that. And then for the first time this year, you will have the ability to also go online and fill out the form too. So those will be the 3 ways, and our friends at the census table will probably be able to give you more detailed information on that end. But that really gives us kind of the foundational elements on that side.
I'd like to add to that, JP,
Yeah.
if you don't mind. In addition to the English language, the census form will be available in 12 other languages,
That's correct.
one of them being Arabic.
موجودة بالعربي وهي موجودة ترجمة ب 12 لغة، من ضمنها اللغة العربية. وراح يجيكم أول شيء كارد بمنتصف هذا الشهر، طبعا الأسبوع الجاي يمكن. بعدين أكو 3 طرق هي تقدرون تجاوبون الأسئلة، واحدة منهم عن طريق البريد الإلكتروني اللي هو الإيميل، وهذا أبسط طريقة بالنسبة لهم وأسهل طريقة وأسرع طريقة. أو عن طريق التليفون تقدرون تخابرون، أكو موجود رقم أو يعني الأسئلة موجودة وتجاوبون. نعم.
The family consists of 5 adult persons. Will they receive more than one application form? And is it better for us to make more application forms?
You'll get 1 application form per address, and as was highlighted, please just list the amount of individuals that live at that residence and that address.
It's a good question.
That's a good one, yeah.
Hi.
Yeah, there's some friend I know that.
Please stand up.
Yeah.
Yes,
there's some
great to
friend
see you.
I know that they have a son. Every time he go to Iraq and come back, he have a green card. So what about him? They gonna count this people?
Yes.
Yes.
So the technical I think we should have probably had the
Yeah.
the census people sitting over
Yeah,
here
why
answering.
don't you come
But-
sit here?
But the date, the official date is April 1st, right? So if you are living here on April 1st, that's what we want to count, okay?
So doesn't matter under what condition.
Correct.
So green card,
Yeah, but-
citizen, white card.
Doesn't matter, and they're not going to be asking that. And if you have somebody who's living in your house, but they're traveling, they're just overseas, count that person
Yes.
too. Okay? If their permanent house is here, if they're living here, they're just not here on April 1st, they're overseas, they're traveling, make sure you count that person too.
الجواب بالنسبة للكل إذا ابني عنده جرين كارد يروح ويجي العراق الله يسافر هو ما دام عنوان هنا موجود هنا بهذا البلد حتى إذا يروح ويجي بس عنوان الرئيسي هنا فلازم ينحسب بس إذا ما موجود لا طبعا هو دا يقول أي شخص عنوان هنا يعني الفعلي وجودك اسمك هنا عنوانك هنا لازم تنعاد.
Okay, who's next? Stella.
Yeah, the census is very important to you and the state. And a lot of people, you don't understand, no Arabic, no English.
Yes.
And the application is sent to you by the email, the address, and you don't know that. Okay, you have a lot of people working for census, right? Why don't walk into the address, to the other door?
So the census, and if you don't fill it out, someone is going to come to the door, correct?
So we're going to give you several opportunities. We're actually in the process of setting up mobile assistance. So you
don't.
That's okay. Bring me that other paper. So we're actually going to have mobile assistance to where people are going to be able to come to sites and we can assist. We're actually going to have like for all the other 12 languages. So if you need assistance, you're able to call someone. In addition, I've got a copy of what the census form looks like. So if you want to come up and take a look at that as well. But we're there to assist you and make it as easy as, yeah, absolutely.
Then we can help them here too. If anyone has questions, they can come to the foundation, we'll help
Because a
them.
lot of people you don't know here.
Sure.
How nobody can to drive them here.
Yep.
The other thing is that census workers will be going door to door in areas where they're not getting high response rates and everything. They will actually come to the door, they will knock, they will identify themselves as a census worker, and then should there be other resources that are needed, whether it's language resources or support, they can direct you or your family members to that information too.
Any other questions? Hi.
How you will get all the Chaldean residents to have the survey? You will go to their doors, or you will take their addresses?
So let me be clear about something. So the census form is not coming from the city of Sterling Heights. The census comes from the federal government. There's a Census Bureau as part of the federal government that will be sending out the forms. And anything you get from the census will be coming from them. So if you don't fill it out right away, you're going to get another form. If you don't fill that out, they're going to send it again. Eventually, as she said, they're going to send out an employee of the Census Bureau out to your house. So they're going to know which addresses have responded and which have not. So they'll keep looking for you until you fill it out. And so that's why it's important. You can't hide. You can't just say, well, I don't want to fill this out, I'm just going to go away. They're going to keep looking until they get you to fill it out. So it's very important to do that. And then another thing I want to be clear about is once that is sent back in, whether you do it on the phone, through mail, or through the internet, that information is not shared with the city.
Correct. So
we don't get it. We won't see it. Our police department won't see it. The federal, any other federal authorities won't see it either. Yeah. So immigration officials cannot get it, will not see it. If anybody is found sharing that information, they're guilty of a felony. So they're not going to share that information.
Mr. Mayor, also, I think it's important to know it's mandatory to participate in the census by law. And like it was explained, if somebody does not send the form, If no answer is received, someone is going to come to your door, official person, to verify that this house is not abandoned. There are people who are living here.
Correct.
And then they will assist you in any shape and form so that you can be counted. So this is a very serious and a very important thing, and it's completely confidential, completely secure.
Excuse me, هذا الشيء قانون مطلوب، يعني مو بس طلب عادي، بس هذا موجود قانون موجود بالدستور. لازم نجاوب هذه الأسئلة، لازم نثبت وجودنا. إذا أول مرة ما جاوبتوا، ثاني مرة بالأخير راح يجون يدقون الباب عليكم. وأجين راح نقولها مرة ثالثة ورابعة إنه أي جواب راح تجاوبون على ال9 الأسئلة راح تكون سرية تامة، ما حد يعرف فيها. حتى مديرية السلنكاس، بلدية السلنكاس، المدير مالتهم ما راح يعرف، مدير الشرطة ما حد يعرف فيها، رأسا بتروح للحكومة الفدرالية. ما حد راح يعرف هاي الأجوبة، راح تكون سرية تامة، وإذا كشفوها تعتبر جريمة.
سؤال بس.
نعم.
يعني بالاستمارة هو حقل مكتوب كالديان أو يعرفون إيش قد عدد البلدان في ستالينغراز أو في ميشيغان.
بالاخير راح يسوون سيرفي راح تبين، بس اكو شغله كلش مهمه اريد اقول لكم اياها. اي سؤال عندكم، اي اذا اي مساعده تحتاجون، احنا موجودين هنا كالديان فاونديشن مؤسسه الجاليه الكندانيه من الساعه 8:30 الى الساعه 5. اهلا وسهلا بكم في اي سؤال او اي شيء تحتاجون. هسه راح اجاوبك. اكو سؤال بس السؤال رقم 9 موجود، لازم نكتب عليها نأشر أول شيء إنه أنت من شنو، يعني من وين، بعدين تكتب كالديان جواها تكتب، وعندنا إحنا موجودين نماذج وين أي ورقة تاخذ أي استمارة أي إعلان أي فلاير موجود بها، تكتب جوا العرض مالتك موجود عندنا نماذج وايد.
أنا سووا كابي وجاوبوها مجاوبة أوردي، كل واحد ياخذها حتى يكتب نفسه.
ما هي نحن ما عندنا استمارات، هي استمارات تجيك ما تجي لا من السنة ولا من
سووها بيجر يكتبون الانسر، كل واحد ياخذ حتى
We will make copies. Thank you, sir.
Good question. We'll give you an example. Okay, we can't show you, we can't fill it out, but we'll give you an example. Sir.
Excuse me, when we receive this forum, how many days we have to, how many days we have to like send it back?
Sure, good question. So, how long until Stacy, come on over. Guys, give a round of applause to Stacy Bahri.
So households will begin to receive the postcard in the mail between March 12th and March 20th. They want everyone to be counted by April 1st, but we know that's not realistic, right? We talked about that. If you don't fill it out by April 1st, you'll get another postcard in the mail prompting you to fill it out. Again, if you still have not filled it out, you'll get another letter in the mail asking you a reminder to fill out this form. So this will probably go in well into early summer, but we ask that everyone fills this out by April 1st. If you don't fill it out by maybe May, they will send numerators out to your home. So someone's gonna come knocking on your door while you're having dinner. Okay, you probably don't want that, right? And they're gonna ask you to fill out the form. So if it's not filled out by early May, someone will come to your house. And they'll be going out between May and July doing that for anyone that has not filled out the questionnaire.
And so if you don't want company, fill out the form.
Right.
Okay, any other questions?
Did you gonna have some people speak Chaldean with those employees going to the houses?
It's a great question. The census is hiring. So if you know anybody looking to work, yes, they have hired Chaldeans, but they need more, right? Like any.
More safety and more.
Sure. Sure. You want to see someone you're familiar with, but they are hiring. So we have these wonderful ladies here from the census. They can answer more questions, but they're also looking to hire people. So if you have an interest, or if you know someone that's interested, it pays anywhere from
$20 to $24.
Whoa, I might go work there, huh? $20 to how much?
24.
May, I'm gonna lose half my staff.
Yes.
Good job. It's a good job. Yeah. It's great though.
Yeah.
It's a nice job though. So really, if you're interested, please see the ladies, or if you know somebody, they're really looking to hire. It's a good paying job, and we need people from our community to work there, okay? Great question.
And on that same point, if you get your census form and you're confused about how to fill it out, or if you don't just wait for somebody hoping a Chaldean census worker comes and knocks on your door, somebody who speaks Arabic. Come to the Chaldean Community Foundation, come to the Senior Center, come to the library, call the City of Sterling Heights. We will help you. We'll get somebody paired with you who can speak to you in Arabic if you need Arabic. We'll speak to you in your language and make sure that you understand it. And we'll work with the Chaldean Community Foundation to make sure resources are available either here or at City Hall or wherever you need to be.
Okay, great. Okay, any other questions? Oh.
Also this program?
Say that again? Warren probably has. Warren should have a program. They're not as cool as Sterling Heights, but that's just me saying that.
Come to Warren.
We want you to move here.
I've gone overboard. If you live in Warren, or if you live in Troy, or if you live in Shelby, you can still come here. And we want to encourage you, not just if you live in Sterling Heights.
Okay, everybody's welcome. I bet. Okay, any other questions? Oh, hi. Yes, ma'am.
As you know, I think many people, especially Chaldean, they are living in the complexes, low income. I have a suggestion, if it is okay.
Hey, let's not put that on the streets, man.
If it is okay, like how you gather us today and you give us this information, so why don't one of you to go to these complexes? Sure. Because very, you can say, many Chaldean people, they are there.
Yeah. Our community action agency is actually facilitating those types of meetings. We're not only engaging large areas where there is massive apartment complexes, or also senior facility homes and things of that, and to not only educate folks, but provide those resources with our caseworkers that connect also into city resources too. Fantastic idea.
Yep.
طبعا راح اجاوب العربي حتى الكل يعرف. احنا بدنا نسوي ندوات بالمجمعات مثل ما تقولين، وراح نبدي بيها بالاسبوع الجاي، ومع العلم بالراديو بدنا نحكي بيها بكل المكانات. بدنا نسوي اعلان على هذا الشيء حتى نوضح كل شيء. بس بالنسبه للمجمعات فعلا راح نسوي ندوات من الاسبوع الجاي في تقريبا على قد ما نقدر. يعني عندنا مجمعات هوايه بس قد هذا الجدول موجود. واذا تحبون اكو سؤال موجود هنا على شو اسمه على التعداد، هي السيده موجوده، وفد شيء اريد اعيده. اي واحد يريد يتعين يتوظف، يعني طبعا بهاي الفتره ينطون راتب من $20 الى 24.5. فموجوده هي اللي عندها سؤال على التعداد ويريد يتعين حتى يساعدون باللغه موجوده.
Can I also add, if you are filling the form out online, you will have an option to choose the language that you best understand. If you go to 2020census.gov, correct? You can choose your language there.
Any other questions? Okay, before we leave, a few things. First of all, thank you for coming. We love you all. I want to just remind you there's some wonderful food that we brought for you guys. Some coffee, tea, and water. Okay, some sweets, some fruit, so please help yourself.
Thank you so much.
Okay, that's one. Yeah, please. The other thing is the census representatives are here. If you have more questions, please ask them. Okay, they're here, they came, they wanted to talk to you. All of our staff is here, is happy to help you too. If you want a cool picture, Sterling Be Counted is here. Look at him, huh? You can get a picture of Yeah, well,
his real face.
No, that is his real face. And then, but I wanted to, before you guys leave, let's give a round of applause to the mayor. So nice for them to come. Okay, everyone, thanks again for coming. Love you. Have a good night.
Thank you all. Thank you.